The other day I was taking inventory of things that trigger progressives. Let's see now, there are sports team nicknames such as the Redskins and the Indians. There's free speech on campus if the thoughts being espoused are in conflict with the beliefs held by Generation Snowflake. Oh, and let's not forget Halloween costumes that supposedly appropriate the haberdashery of someone else's culture. So what else can we add to the list of things that trigger the social justice warriors? Would you believe the paint scheme of a car? I do not jest, folks. Case in point, the Toronto Police Service recently rolled out a new color scheme for their cruisers. For what it's worth, I think the new dark gray cruisers look superb. I've never been a fan of the current red, white, and blue Toronto cruisers. Thanks to that tricolor scheme and the font used for the lettering, these cruisers almost have a fast food vibe to them, and last time I checked, Burger King wasn't in the law enforcement business. Well, not yet. Before Toronto went red, white, and blue, Hogtown police cruisers were bright yellow. Now, in addition to choosing the most garish color you could possibly slap on a car, I'm sure the coppers of yesteryear were getting sick and tired of tourists mistaking them for cabbies. Oh, and that yellow paint actually contained cancer-causing chemicals. Oops. But the new dark gray, wow, those cruisers look like they mean business, which I think is how you want a police cruiser to look. Yet the progressives find this color scheme offensive. For example, a Toronto Star article chronicling the cruiser color conundrum quoted Jonathan Von Strebele, the ethics chair and president of Graphic Designers of Canada. He said policing agencies seem unaware that, quote, there's a real connection between the use of color and perceptions, and that these designs convey oppressive, aggressive, intimidating, and combative traits, end quote. Strebele further argues that the dark gray Toronto cruisers, along with similar ones in Vancouver and Calgary, appear to be influenced by films such as RoboCop and Batman. Aren't RoboCop and Batman good guys? Regardless, Strebele says that the militaristic influence of the paint scheme is undeniable. Quote, it's a disturbing trend to say the least, end quote. Yeah, a Ford Taurus in dark gray is disturbing. Gee, why don't we just paint rainbows on police cruisers and perhaps affix a My Little Pony decal on the hood? For its part, oh so progressive, Toronto City Council expressed it was very upset with Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders for the color switcheroo. I mean, can you imagine, folks? The chief of police had the audacity to make a decision about something affecting policing? Oh, the nerve of that guy. So it was that City Council passed a motion asking the Toronto Police Services Board to retain the red, white, and blue color scheme of its patrol cars pending further review. In other words, sensitive Torontonians will no longer have to worry about seeing any more dark gray militaristic cruisers prowling around the mean streets of Hogtown. Bottom line, Black Lives Matter. Dark gray police cruisers, not so much, especially if some sissified snowflake out there thinks Officer RoboCop is behind the wheel. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Say, if you like what you just saw, help build the Rebel by visiting thebigplan.ca.